Hey Jason. Hey Rob. You're in that dramatic auditorium again. It looks so cool. It looks almost like green screen in a way.
Really? I guess. It's because I'm so brightly lit here and there's like nothing
Yeah.
back there.
It's like
You seem like you're in a really dark place today, Rob.
No, it's a bright place.
yeah. Super funny. I'm just like waiting for like Nyan Cat to like fly behind you and rainbows and memes and stuff. It just like...
All right, here we go. This is my new setting. Galactic rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Gonna turn off my video while I eat. Sorry, y'all.
Rob, you look so dramatic again. Is that the auditorium?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's the place to go when all the other like small call and meeting spaces are taken, which they often are. There's high contention. They used to have some like little rooms that were for calls and things that you couldn't reserve. And I was going around today to try and grab one of them, and they all have like little reservation things on them. I guess they gave up on the idea of enforcing that some things must be free for ad hoc use.
Well, my understanding was that we were to expect John to come and maybe Dan.
And Dan.
Yeah. So we're at 5 after, but we could go ahead and give them a few more minutes if we would like to.
Sure. I would like to have them actually. I would like to have Dan have time to show up for once in a while, and for Jonathan to ever actually be on this call.
Yep. Let's see here. I will poke them both on Slack.
On that note, does it seem appropriate to like reschedule the call with Jonathan? Because Jonathan is kind of restricted to like later in the day. That's his normal schedule.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be fine to reschedule the call if the current time is not good for people. I sort of tried to ask that Slack the other day because I have no idea what Jonathan's hours are. But everybody was like it's fine. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
I'm happy to reschedule because the only reason it's at the time it is now is because that was the time that previous. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jonathan's normal time is 4 to 8 Central Time. That's because he has like a day job or like he works during the day too.
okay, good to know.
Okay. Yeah, so I pinged Dan, which haven't heard back at this moment. Jonathan has himself set to D&D, so
Oh, sounds like Dan has his hands full with child,
okay. Oh, okay.
but he said he's calling in.
Sweet.
So
Very good. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. We sort of switched over to the more like read through and then questions format, questions and discussions at the end. So just take a moment or two for that reading through.
hello, hello. Who's on the phone?
Hi, this is Dan.
Hey.
Hey, sorry I'm a little late. I'm in charge of the baby at the moment, but can participate.
Hey Dan.
Do you have the notes pulled up?
I
Are
can
you
get
able to?
them. I may not be able to do the notes. We'll see. Depends on how far she strays. But I looked at them yesterday, as much as they had been filled out.
Okay. I think mine is largely the same, other than that audit run finished, so I added some numbers to it.
Oh, cool.
So if I finally did an actual complete check of all of the URLs that are marked as active in our, or whether they seem to be getting regularly snapshotted in Wayback.
Got it.
And there are 6,017 that aren't, which is about in line with sort of, it's maybe slightly high. I would have it from our daily health check results. And I think that's mostly due to divergence between Versionista and the last time we updated the Wayback folks with information, but it's not entirely, because there are clearly things that Wayback must have been archiving because of us, because they're just every day one snapshot a day that stop at certain points in time. And I think what may have happened, because most of those, in spot checking, most of those that I've seen are things that are now like constant 403s or 404s or 500 errors. So I assume at some point they sort of went through and said, like, this is stupid to keep snapshotting, which is not unreasonable, but I think that's a minority.
But there's no technical way for them to communicate that back to us, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of, they can communicate that back to us just as well as we communicate to them, which is like, because this whole process is manual of like, I send them a file with a list of things.
Right.
But they haven't.
Yeah.
So that's a continuing of the relationship anyway, right? When Wayback has problems and then we find out because of our health check script. Although this last time, we did get a notification from Mark. He he notified me on Slack, which was nice. It was funny because I had signed on to Slack because the health check made it look like everything was failing. And I signed on 2 minutes after he DM'd me, like, hey, we're having problems, to ask if there were problems.
Oh, that's pretty good. We'll take that.
I was as on it as he was that time.
Yeah. Well, we'll take improvements. Do they want, I'm actually surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they want that health check script. If they wanted our differ. What are they calling it? They're calling it changes?
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they ought to have a way better way to do that internally. Than our, like, hey, we know that you're snapshotting this series of pages every day. Have they been snapshotted in the last couple days?
Yeah.
It's like a really, really terrible method of understanding if your service is operating.
I mean, I don't make assumptions about how their service operates on the inside.
This is a good point.
I mean, we're definitely doing it through the front door. So in that sense, it would definitely be dog fooding.
Right. That's a good point.
But yeah, it does seem like there could be a slightly more efficient way.
Sorry, wrestling with baby. Let me know if the noise gets annoying on that side, and I can always mute myself.
So, did anybody have questions for Rob's updates? Rob, you had a little bit of a question in your update, basically about sort of what are you doing on the monitoring for the queue. I have, as we sort of talked about, not on YouTube uploaded videos. I've had stuff going on in my personal life. So my hours has been pretty much zeroed out. So my updates being right where they were last time is exactly of what I've been doing, which is not much.
Okay.
So kind of the bigger picture for me about what I'm hoping to get done between now and 2 weeks from now, or contract, where I would obviously at the very least finish up the PR that I have open, right? And we'll just see if I'm able to do significantly better than that, or if I'm able to just do that.
Okay. I mean, are there still a lot of other things that are taking your time at this point? Or?
No. I've basically not been billing hours.
Okay.
As I've continued to have stuff linger in my life here at the end. So that's just a matter of
yeah. I mean,
Reggie.
Okay, good. That's what I had assumed from the updates you posted over the past week or two.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure since you just said it about zeroing out your hours and everything. So
Yeah. No, it's basically I have not really done much for Edgy, so thus forward progress has not been made.
Okay.
And I kind of hoped all of the stuff that was definitely schedule taking me away from being able to do any work. I was hoping to just jump right back in this week, but there have been sort of danglers. So it'll just be a best effort between here and the end. But
okay.
Even just to be clear though, should things even preclude me from working in the next few weeks, if I'm definitely going to finish that work. Because that would be very annoying to leave the PR like that dangling and then just walk away. So even if that requires me just circling back around.
You wouldn't be the first, but I appreciate that you're sensitive about that.
Well, that would annoy me. I mean, just even me, not as the maintainer, that would annoy me just to have that sitting there or just to close it out after having your review work input on it. So But at the very least, that will get done, one way or the other.
Okay,
Cool.
great. I know, Gretchen, you had a question about whether there were things you could do in the database more directly. So I have to look and see whether I can. I don't know. Maybe you know the answer to this. Isn't if we can do Postgres users with like different access rights in RDS, or if we're kind of restricted by the main user that RDS sets up for us.
No, we can add roles. I mean, we can basically just sign in as Postgres and add other roles and
Okay.
scope them.
I think maybe if you have time to do like a small thing, make a user for Gretchen with maybe read-only permissions or only having write permissions to the pages table. That way, like, she can run through all those and do whatever query she wants directly against the database. You'll have to get like a SQL client and learn how to use it a little bit for this, Gretchen.
Okay.
Well, the other trick of that is right now, security-wise, that's closed off to the world, and you have to be inside our AWS
Oh, and
network.
put it in a VPC so you can't get to it from the internet.
Yeah. Now we could flip back. We made a temporary rule when we set it up to just allow world, and we could flip open some version of that, or have Gretchen do a what is my IP and get that IP and just open up that for Gretchen, and that's something that she and Jonathan could, if that needs to change, that could be updated as Gretchen is mobile.
Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds like.
I don't want to make any extra work for anybody. My goal is just like, as opposed to being like, hey, can you like produce this list for me so I can like look at it? If I can like learn how to do that myself, which I feel like I should be able to learn how to do. But I don't. My goal is explicitly to like lower the like burden on other people for that. So if it's more work, it doesn't need to happen anytime.
There are also, just to throw it out there, two other ways that you could think of doing that. You could set up a long-running machine that you just logs into that's inside the VPC, or even like a container in the cluster, which from the point of view of like having an analysis environment that's set up might actually be easier than trying to get things on the laptop in terms of Postgres client installed and all that kind of stuff. Or we have the Python client to the DB API, which might be sufficient to answer the questions that you want to answer, and then you don't need anything special at all.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, but you don't usually work a whole lot on the command line, right, Gretchen?
No,
Yeah.
but I could learn.
Oh, I thought she was making Postgres queries in this scenario. I might need to catch up on what you guys are talking about.
I mean, I that's what I was thinking, but I was thinking she could get like a GUI Postgres client, like a desktop app, and just connect directly to the Postgres instance.
That does seem
that
sensible.
way, like the only thing to learn is how to use that Postgres client, as opposed to all the other things that comes with SSHing and you.
Yeah.
Like, because you're right, that would be a good environment for somebody who's highly like software technical, but probably not for Gretchen.
Yeah, because I think
That makes sense.
I mean, I think you can even do connections like that in like LibreOffice, or maybe set up a connection that you can hit in Excel. Now, how useful that would be, I don't know. But yeah, there are definitely lots of different types of GUI options. And I think maybe starting with just creating a user and allowing a direct connection might be the simplest to like administer.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
That sounds like a good idea to me. And we'll just keep it that way in the short term until we come up with better long-term solutions. were you
So I
thinking
should get in
about
touch with Jonathan to get. I should get in touch with Jonathan to get access.
Well, I'll go. I can
Read-only.
go ahead and set this up and at least tell Jonathan what I have done and like what the rule is called, because we actually even already have a rule and open up this port rule there. It's just turned off. Right now, it's for everybody. Literally, all you need to do, Gretchen, is like type into Google what is my IP and give me that value,
Okay.
and that'll at least let me open it up to where you are right now.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there anything else we should talk through or figure out?
I just quick note. We don't have to discuss much, but the MOU with Query was approved, and so I know Rob has suggested about Jonathan helping with the Compute Canada node, right? Rob, was that you had mentioned that in Slack for the last cross meeting? Something
yeah,
with Jonathan.
I mean, that seems like it's definitely 100% within what.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to say that we can move forward with that, or try to, and then I'll make sure. I'm gonna be out for the next 2 weeks, so I'll ask Kelsey to schedule the next cross team and make sure that Jonathan can be sure to make it, because he hasn't been able to make one. And there was a discussion at at a steering committee meeting about just like support for him in general and having him talk to people in archiving as well, like other people across Edgy, so he can have stuff to do. Yeah, so just making a note of that. That's all.
Sounds good.
I wanted to jump in and just make sure I'm totally clear. That Jason, did you catch the question in my updates? Maybe that's what you're talking about earlier, but I wasn't totally sure.
Yeah, I had quickly breezed through the notes, and I had attributed that question to Rob, but it was your question. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you were basically asking about monitoring, and if I was planning on doing anything there.
Right. So I'm basically, I had said you take that. I'm definitely not going to have any time for it. For the foreseeable future, I might have some time tomorrow to play with that, and so, but I didn't want to step on your toes. So if there's nothing done, that's fine. The stuff that you're already in flight on should take precedence.
Yeah, basically, exactly. Right now, I'm trying to make sure I'm at least not leaving like giant, long threads loose.
Yep. Okay, then consider that one assigned back to me.
Okay, so just to recap that, we're saying, Jason, you're not going to worry about that for now. You're focused on the file storage issue. And Dan, if you have time, feel free to pick that back up again.
Great.
Cool. I guess the one other thing I wanted to mention, if we don't have anything else, is I finally got around to documenting the iArchiver, so that PR could use some review to make sure that it's clear and makes sense, or I can just merge it, whatever, on ops.
Great. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I need to do it for the scraper machine too, that actually pulls the data in.
Yeah.
I
really appreciate the ops post-mortem, I forget what we call them, incident reports. I definitely learn a lot from going through those.
Oh, okay,
so
good.
That's good. Yeah.
Then they're doing their job.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. I think that covers everything then.
Sorry.
I'm not sure if that was a scream of agreement or disagreement, but
But it's
I
enthusiastic.
don't know,
that was a yes.
Yeah.
I'll go ask her. Amelia, were you agreeing? It's a scream of birds. There are birds outside.
Oh.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
No.
Yep.
Good seeing
Good to
everybody.
talk to y'all.
Thank
See
you.
y'all
We're being flexible on the time this week. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.